At the edge of Sydney Harbour, a masterpiece of human courage begins to glow as the first light of dawn touches its iconic white sails today. The morning sun reflects off the deep blue waters of Port Jackson, cradling a structure that redefined the boundaries of modern architectural design forever in history. A cinematic drone sweep captures the majestic scale of the Opera House, revealing how its organic curves harmonize perfectly with the surrounding natural Australian coastal landscape. Between the heart of the bay, a courageous architectural entity rises to greet the sun, transcending simple walls to become a living intersection of art and math. It is not merely a building. It is a symbol that moved beyond the limits of human imagination, standing as a testament to what we can achieve. So the gentle sound of chiefs against the concrete base and the wind whistling through the vaults create a natural symphony that welcomes every visitor to Sydney. Every angle offers a new perspective, where the hard materials of construction seem to breathe and flow like the very sails of the ships in the harbor. In 1957, a young Danish architect named Jørn Utzon stepped onto the world stage with an idea that many people considered to be completely insane. His sketches were not traditional blueprints. They were poetic visions of shells and orange peels that sought to bring the rhythms of nature into the urban world. While hundreds of other competitors submitted rigid, box-like structures, Utzon's design stood out like a wild dream, challenging every established rule of contemporary architectural practice. Inspired by the organic curves of the world around him, he envisioned a landmark that would speak to the soul rather than just provide a function. Utzon's vision was a daring leap into the unknown, a design so advanced for its time that the world did not yet possess the tools to build. The secret to the design was found in the simplicity of a sphere, allowing the complex shapes to be broken down into manageable and repeatable geometric parts. Every line on his paper represented a battle between aesthetic beauty and the physical reality of weight, gravity, and the harsh elements of the coastal environment. The announcement of his victory sent shockwaves through the industry, sparking a debate that would last for decades about the feasibility of such a radical structure. He believed that a building should be like a piece of music, with a rhythm and flow that resonates with the people who experience its grand spaces. This was the birth of an icon, a moment where the impossible was given a name and a place on the shores of a growing Australian city. But the transition from paper to reality would prove to be one of the greatest engineering challenges in the history of human construction and design. How do you build a structure that has no straight lines and weighs thousands of tons? This was the question that haunted engineers for many years. The solution came in the form of the spherical solution, a mathematical breakthrough that allowed the shells to be constructed from uniform, pre-cast concrete sections. Each rib of the shells had to be cast with perfect precision, as even a tiny error could cause the entire roof structure to collapse under weight. The construction site became a laboratory for innovation, where new techniques in computer modeling and pre-stressed concrete were pioneered for the very first time. It was a brutal struggle against the limits of technology, a period where the budget soared and the public began to doubt if it would finish. Yet, piece by piece, the giant sails began to take shape, rising above the harbor like a concrete forest that defied the traditional laws of physics. Behind every curve was a sea of numbers and complex equations, a hidden language of mathematics that supported the weight of a brilliant artistic vision. The project pushed the boundaries of what was possible, turning the construction site into the world's most watched and most controversial architectural experiment of the century. Finally, the geometric puzzle began to make sense, revealing a structure that was both incredibly heavy and yet appeared as light as air on the water. The sweat and toil of thousands of workers were poured into these foundations, building a legacy that would eventually define the identity of an entire nation. Inside, the ribs create a rhythm of light and shadow, a sequence of structural elements that feel more like a living organism than a man-made building. Yet the transition from a daring idea to a physical reality was a victory for the human spirit, proving that no dream is too big to achieve. But as the shells were completed, A new layer of beauty was needed to protect them and give them their world-famous, shimmering, white appearance today. Every step of the construction was a leap of faith, a dance between the precision of the engineer and the passion of the creative architectural artist. The struggle was immense, but the result would be a landmark that changed the world of architecture and engineering forever in the modern era. More than 1 million Swedish ceramic tiles were chosen to cover the shells, creating a skin that is as durable as it is breathtakingly beautiful. These tiles were not laid individually but in large pre-made panels, following a precise chevron pattern that gives the building its unique scale-like texture. A clever mix of glossy white and matte cream tiles was used to ensure the building would glow brilliantly without ever blinding the people passing by. The tiles act like a living skin, absorbing and reflecting the colors of the Sydney sky and the shifting moods of the surrounding harbor waters below. From a distance, the shells appear as pure white sails, but up close, they reveal a complex mosaic of light and shadow that is truly mesmerizing. As the sun sets over Sydney, the Opera House transforms into a golden monument, a beacon of light that dominates the entire city's evening skyline. Even in the rain, the tiles maintain their luster, washing clean and reflecting the moody grays and blues of a stormy day on the harbor front. The interplay between the hard ceramic skin and the vast glass curtains creates a dialogue between the interior sanctuary and the wide-open world outside. Shadows dance across the curves, highlighting the depth and three-dimensional nature of a design that refuses to be confined to a single flat plane. It is a tactile experience, a building that invites you to touch and feel the materials that were chosen with such incredible care and foresight. The harbor water itself becomes a part of the architecture, its reflections painting constantly changing patterns on the white surfaces of the towering shells. As darkness falls, the building begins to glow from within, its massive forms becoming translucent lanterns that illuminate the dark edges of the water. The beauty of the tiles is a silent tribute to the precision of the artisans who crafted them, ensuring they would endure for many centuries. But this beauty came with a heavy price, a story of political conflict and personal sacrifice that nearly destroyed the project before its completion. Beneath the glorious sails lies a narrative of struggle, and a reminder that great art often requires a journey through the most difficult of human storms. In 1966, the dream faced its darkest hour as political pressure and financial disputes forced Jørn Utzon to resign and leave Australia forever. The departure of the creator left a void in the project, leading to years of uncertainty and significant changes to the original interior design plans. For a time, the building stood as a symbol of controversy and excess, a project that many feared would never live up to its initial promise. However, in October 1973, the clouds finally parted as Queen Elizabeth II officially opened the doors to this architectural wonder for everyone. The opening was a moment of national pride, a celebration that turned a troubled construction project into a world-renowned icon of modern culture and art. The music finally returned to the shells, vindicating the vision of those who fought to see the project through to its spectacular and hard-won conclusion. Inside, the halls became a sacred space for performance, where the world's greatest artists come to share their talents under the giant concrete vaults. Every note played within these walls is a tribute to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of a truly great creative idea. The building had survived its own birth, emerging as a landmark that belonged not just to Sydney, but to the entire world and future generations. It became a stage where the most profound human emotions could be expressed, sheltered by the same shells that once faced such fierce public criticism. The controversy faded into history, replaced by a deep and universal respect for a structure that dared to be different in a world of boxes. The Sydney Opera House proved that architecture can be more than just shelter. It can be a source of inspiration and a catalyst for change. Decades after its opening, it remains one of the busiest and most vibrant performing arts centers on the planet, hosting thousands of events every year. The scars of its construction are hidden in the details, reminders of the courage it took to build something that had never been seen before. It is a story of homecoming and reconciliation, a journey from a radical sketch to a beloved symbol of an entire continent's creative identity today. Every year, the Festival of Light transforms the building into a digital canvas, where the shells become a living gallery for modern artists to explore. Projections of light tell new stories on the old stone, proving that the architecture of Jørn Utzon is as relevant today as it was decades ago. From the sky, the building looks like a cluster of diamonds dropped into the dark water, a beacon of creativity that shines across the vast ocean. It is a place where every visitor becomes part of the performance, a shared experience that connects people from every corner of the global community. The building continues to inspire, a timeless masterpiece that suggests there are no limits to what the human mind can conceive and then build. It stands as a reminder that the most courageous path is often the most rewarding, and that art can truly change the world we inhabit. For the next generation, it is a playground of the imagination, a tangible proof that the impossible is merely a starting point for the brave. As each night ends and a new day begins, the Sydney Opera House stands ready to tell its story once again to the waking harbor. It is an eternal symphony of stone, glass, and tile, a song that never ends and a beauty that never fades with the passing time. When art, science, and courage meet, they create more than just a building. They create a soul for a city and a landmark for humanity. The Sydney Opera House is a promise kept, a dream realized, and a testament to the enduring power of human creativity and architectural daring spirit. It is not just an ha-hat, it is the ultimate affirmation that our boldest visions can indeed become the eternal monuments of our shared future.